No! Ah! I'm stupid. Oh! Oh. Run! No! Why'd you move, you fucking retard? Oh, that's why. That's why.
Than the Dover police, right? Since they're different cities. A detective from Dover hand delivers the murder evidence to the San Francisco PD. This included the remaining candy, the paper it came in, the handkerchief, and the San Francisco police chief, Isaiah W. Lees, he wasted no time and immediately gets to work building a case against Cordelia. Fun fact, Isaiah Lees, this guy, he's basically the godfather of the modern day mugshot. He didn't necessarily invent the mugshot, but in a way he kind of did, because he was the first police officer to make it a regular thing. When criminals were arrested, right? He started collecting pictures of these criminals starting in 1854, and by the time that 1898 rolled around, his police department had the largest collection of criminal photos. I thought that was cool. Anyways, we don't know if Cordelia had a lengthy rap sheet at all, but based on her behaviors, one could assume that she may have, which meant that they may have had a photo of her. And this would be super useful. And it's funny because maybe that's what Cordelia meant when she said that she had over 100 photographs taken of her. Anyhow, back to the case. So the first thing Isaiah Lees did was figure out where the box of chocolates came from. That wasn't so hard because the brown paper and pink satin bow the box was wrapped in was pretty well known around San Francisco. Those were the wrappings that George Haas Confectionery, a popular candy store, used to gift wrap their chocolates. Now, this George Haas Confectionery, they had 4 locations, which was like a big deal back then. First of all, everyone recognized the ribbon, but most of all, it was going to be a little bit more challenging to track down the exact store that the box was sold at. But finally, after going to question everybody at the different candy stores and chocolate stores, they find the store clerk who remembered selling half a box of chocolate bonbons on July 31st to a woman who was short, stout, and kind of frumpy looking. And they're like, hey, that kind of sounds like Cordelia. And the clerk remembered that it was weird that the woman only wanted half a box of candy. So he asked her, why do you only want half? Like, who gives half empty box of chocolates as a gift? And the woman buying the chocolates told the clerk that she planned on adding in her own homemade chocolate to the box, which is weird because if you're gonna go out of your way to buy like top-notch chocolates as a gift, unless you're an amazing baker, why would you put in your own homemade ones? Okay, Cordelia, sure, Also, it was found that on the handkerchief that was left in the box, it had a price tag left on it. So this led the investigators to the City of Paris department store, which at the time was San Francisco's most important department store. So they go down to the department store and they talk to a saleswoman by the name of Miss Grace Harris. Now, she remembered the customer who purchased the handkerchief because she thought that the woman looked just like her dead mother. This saleswoman also had like a picture of her mom with her, and she's like, she looks like my dead mom. And let me tell you, this woman's dead mother was like a dead ringer for Cordelia. They could have been twins. They could have been sisters. She wasn't wrong, but she remembered her because she told Cordelia, you look just like my dead mom. Wow. And she just remembered her. Now, there weren't many post office locations in the same area as the stores, so it wasn't too hard to find the post office attendant who helped a woman ship a box that was wrapped in brown paper with a peek bow. The clerk, a man named John Dunnigan, he had no problem remembering the package sent to Miss John Dunning because he thought, oh my god, it sounds just like my name, because his name is John Dunnigan. I know this is getting confusing, but he just remembered the box being shipped out. And the detective is like, okay, can you tell us what the woman looked like? And he's like, oh yeah, it was this stout, frumpy looking woman. And they're like, it's not looking good for Cordelia. So they had 3 clues down and they had 1 to go. The last piece of the puzzle was the arsenic. Where did it come from? And this one seemed to be the hardest part for police to figure out because it wasn't wrapped up in a nice pretty bow like everything else was. And they couldn't find any leads as far as the arsenic went. But right before they were about to give up, they finally talked to a clerk at the Owl Drug Store who remembered selling arsenic to a woman who, surprise, surprise, also resembled Cordelia. Now, it was really looking like Cordelia bought the chocolates and poisoned them with arsenic before mailing them to Mary Elizabeth. But the San Francisco Police Department had 2 more leads that they needed to follow up on. They obtained a search warrant for the room that Cordelia was staying at in the Victoria Hotel to see if they could find anything else. So they get into Cordelia's home. She's not there. Great. We already know, like, Cordelia is kind of sloppy with her killing job. So when they go inside, they see that she left the leftover string and wrapping paper that matched the box of chocolates in her room after she left. Like, she didn't throw it away. So she practically left, like, the smoking gun in her hotel room, is what I'm getting at. Like, girl, come on. The final lead that the San Francisco Police Department needed to follow up on were the letters that were sent to Mary Elizabeth. So a local handwriting expert, he analyzes the handwriting on the note that came with the chocolates and the anonymous letters that were sent to Mary Elizabeth. Now, in the expert's opinion, there was no question. The note and letters were written by the same person, and compared to the love letters that Cordelia had written to John, it seemed like a pretty open and shut case. Cordelia was the killer, and they had caught her red-handed. So on October 28th, 1989, Chief Pleas presented his case against Cordelia before the grand jury. He was pretty confident that they would
Do you want me to follow you or no? I don't trust this. It's only a two-person. Where'd Bestie go? What you got there? Bestie, where you going? Bestie. I don't trust that. I think he has no head. I think he has no head. Like, I really think he does. Yeah, I really think he has no head. It's a box though. Oh, right here. Oh. Which one should I go to? Let's go to this one. Hello, bestie.